Welcome back, everybody. Today I got a good opportunity to take a 2025 Trail Boss. You can see it right there for a spin. This one's different than the other because this has the 6.6 D-Max in it. So we have 479 and 975 pounds of torque. Plenty of juice in the caboose for that. Now this is an LT model, and this is the new Cypress green, so it's kind of an odd duck color. It has just a small bit of flake in it. All blackout obliques, non-multi-flex, but with the this model you do get this totally blacked out grille. It is a super sharp truck. The color's not as bad when I saw pictures of it, but in the direct sun it is a little bit different. But again, nicely equipped, just missing the multi-flex. Interesting enough, this one is again a baser LT. So it does have heated seats, but cloth. So we still have those firm bad boy seats right here. But I do think this storage is kind of neat. Mentioned that the other day, and the other one, how this sticks out, kind of bulging. So if a human wants to sit there, it's not all that comfortable. And it does not like to go back in, so keep that in mind. Same door panels and everything like that. Again, basically the Z71. It is missing the buckets, but it does have the heated steering wheel, 10-inch screen, downhill descent, everything like that. Again, I like these cloth seats. My wife hated them, but again, could not take it out for a spin and actually videotape because of liability purposes. That's just not what they let you do here, but did take it for a nice test drive. And I'm going to give you guys my impressions of this here in just 1 second. Got it all backed in. They are letting me shoot it back here. Animated headlights, animated taillights, and it is a good, funky color. Now we're going to shoot over and check out the window sticker, and then I will give you my impressions. All right, so going over the window sticker, here is how that truck was equipped. So we have the 2025 Crew Cab LT 4-wheel drive in the Cypress Gray and the Dirty D. Really the biggest thing on this one that was kind of like a glaring thing was it didn't have the buckets, which is a bummer. I'd at least rather have cloth buckets. But you can see standard options here. Same warranty. And then you come over here and then we can see black bow tie puddle jump. I'd like to see what that looked like on the ground, because I like those little things. But really, the safety package, nothing really glaring about this one that really set it off. And what was odd though is I didn't like about the gray gas Trail Boss was really that those running boards that they picked or what Chevy put on those were ugly. And this one also didn't have chicken feet light on the roof, so. But now let's get back to, there is the price on that bad boy, $78,635, and being a 25, no immediate discounts. So now let's talk about the truck. All right, so now we're done with that. Now we can finally talk about how was the new Duramax, the L5P Gen 2. Again, we talked about monster horsepower, almost 500, almost 1,000 pounds of torque. And is it the most powerful of them? No, Ford holds that badge. But to be honest with you guys, after having just about every diesel since 1988, I can say that the power of any diesel after, say, 2003, 2002, is pretty good. Now, the trucks themselves of old wouldn't be able to tow as much as the brand new truck. So even though you have that power, now the trucks can match some of that capability that they got all the juice for. That Duramax was not a disappointment at all. If you're a diesel enthusiast and you're buying the diesel because you like the crackle, you like the turbo whistle, the Duramax ain't going to be your dog, because I'm telling you, you can't even tell. The L8T gas is already super quiet for being, you know, a big engine in a truck. The diesel's almost non-existent, the sound, and you're not going to hear the turbo whistle in that one like you will the Power Strokes. You can hear it some in the new Cummins, but I think the Power Stroke's probably the loudest diesel turbo sound you can get.
But I know there's plenty of aftermarket crap that can spruce up all that sound and whatnot, if that's really your thing. One thing I did appreciate, though, is how quiet it really was. Matter of fact, the HVAC system in the Chevy is the loudest part of the cabin. If you turn the Chevy or GM trucks on high and blast the heat, it's loud. It's very loud. I mean, it's intrusive. So if you turn on AC on high, it's loud versus the Ford and even the Ram. So, but it is proficient. But I mean, just the linear power. Now, one thing I can't prove, but I feel, is that the Chevy starts on the diesel in second gear. I can't prove it because they don't have a gear selector. And matter of fact, it doesn't really matter because the transmission glides so quick and smooth through those gears, you can't even hardly count them. But you know, in tow haul mode, it will revert to first gear no matter what. But I think for whatever reason they do that in second. Tons of power. The cabin is very nice to be in. Again, the cloth seats are firmer than the leather for whatever reason. I think once you get to the cooled seat part of that, you know, the up trim ones, LTZ, they have cool, or even the High Country and so on, that you do run into that really firm leather seat that Chevy has. You know, I personally probably wouldn't aim for a cooled seat in a GM truck just because of that. But the regular LT seats that are leather or pleather, or whatever you want to call it, they're probably a majority to be vinyl versus all leather. They are softer than the cloth. And I could tell you after driving the gas one the other day, the seats were a little bit more comfortable than the cloth. Again, doesn't bother me, but my wife is not a fan. As for everything like that, again, that middle seat back there, I don't know what's going on with those cup holders, why they won't sink in. Again, Kong was a custom, so it didn't have those cup holders there. So give or take, but if you're going to get an up-trim truck, you're going to get that. And I just could not, on the last two trucks, get them seated in to be comfortable for a human of any size or even a car seat to be put in there, because it's going to push that car seat at a weird angle. Again, power, excellent. Transmission, Allison, I just don't think it can be beat. I think the torque shift is plenty fine. I thought the 68 feet was plenty fine. The Aisin's was the roughest shifting of all of those transmissions out there. And but all of them at the end of the day get the job done. But the Allison is just, it's nice. And again, like I said, if you're the front seat passenger or two outboard passengers in the back seat, comfort's fine. Comfort's good. Interior cabin room is great. And didn't need a regen or anything while I was driving it, so that's nice. But, you know, like I said, after driving Loki for this long, the 24 Super Duty, and if I was going to try and enthuse, you know, getting a diesel versus a gas trucks do everything I need them to do. If I was going to get one, I would probably, after driving these two, it does feel like the tech is not as intuitive as the Sync 4 and the Ford. The storage is not as good in the doors, back or front, as the Ford is. But there's just something about that Chevy. I mean, I'm not a fan of that Cypress Gray, but it was still a nice looking color. I think a lot of people will be drawn to it. But, you know, Chevy has to step up. You know, hey, everybody's just going out and copying each other anyway. Go figure out how to get some more door storage for guys, because people that are using their trucks need a lot of storage for stuff, and we need more cup holders. It's just the way it always plays out. But, you know, for a $78,000 retail, I would have liked to have seen buckets in it. It's only an $800 option when you build it, and I think that would have made that truck a little bit nicer. But it was a very, very nice truck. They actually have another one coming in that I'm going to take a look at here in a few weeks. I'll wait to show you guys that video, because I think that might be one I could actually lean towards. Again, the L8T gas does what I need it to do. I know some people are trying to tow way more than what that gas engine, and they're kind of disappointed. I get it. But a $10,000 price tag on a diesel engine, and they're still going to have a lot of problems. Now, putting it in tow haul mode and kicking on the exhaust brake, yeah, you could kind of feel it even though we weren't towing. Nothing crazy. Nothing like the Ram where it just automatically grabs. But I do think that the Gen 2 L5P has a better exhaust brake than it was. And Gale Banks did a great video that that guy knows diesel. He tore one down and talked about the main differences. Now, those differences are good, but are they going to be as good if that's your whole selling point of a diesel is well, I want the exhaust brake and better fuel economy? I drove it too short of a run to talk about fuel economy, but I can tell you my experience with the newer Duramax diesels are not 20 miles to the gallon at regular highway speeds and stuff like that. So, you know, mine was, geez, 11 to 14, something like that, usually. So, you know, at the end of the day, if your main pull is not going to be fuel economy, but you want the exhaust brake, we'll have to put one of those to the test before I could actually say that that exhaust brake, engine brake, whatever you want to call it, is a keeper or not. Because again, the 2011 Duramax that we drove a little bit ago on the channel, I'll link those videos down below, that exhaust brake was actually really good. So, you know, at the end of the day, I would have to say that this truck is very nice for 2025. I knew they weren't going to change a whole lot. Why bother? They're selling plenty of these without having to change a whole lot of anything. No big power bumps. I do think that Chevy's probably going to refresh and see what Ford does with their numbers, because they're already talking about bigger numbers for Ford come 2026. So again, the game will be played, but it's plenty powerful. It's a great truck. There's a lot to like about the 25 Chevy. The only thing I would probably get if I was going to order one, I'd order the lighter interior, because they still only offer those 4 little dinky lights in there. And man, that interior, when it's black and it's dark at night, it is hard to find anything in the doors or anything like that, or on the floor if you drop it. But it was a very nice truck. So if you guys are looking at the 2025, there's your Cypress Gray. That's one of the new colors. Is it one for me? No, I like that old green one, green color they had from 2021 better. And but is a great truck to drive, super powerful. Again, if money is no option and you need to tip the tails, you know, the tables above 18,000 pounds of towing, I think a compelling argument would be to look at the Duramax to know your limits. But again, really good truck. And guys, we have a lot more content coming up, so if you don't mind, smash the subscribe button down there in the corner, thumbs up at the end of the video, and the notification bell so you can know when I post new content. And we're gonna have some really cool stuff coming up, so we'll catch you on the next one.